In the small town of Briarwood, nestled between thick shadow woods and a forgotten river, lived a young woman named Eliza. She was known for her beauty and kindness, often spending her days helping the elderly and tending to her garden. Her life was simple and peaceful, but her nights were filled with dreams of a mysterious man with piercing green eyes. Each night he would call to her from the darkness, whispering her name with a voice that sent chills down her spine. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Eliza wandered into the woods, following an unexplainable urge. The forest, usually full of life, was eerily silent, the only sound being the church of leaves under her feet. She walked deeper until she reached an old abandoned house, hidden beneath the embers of the ancient trees. Drowned by an invisible force, Eliza stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the floorboards groaned under her weight. As she explored the house, she felt a presence behind her. Turning slowly, she saw him, the man from her dreams. He stood tall and handsome, his green eyes glowing in the dim light. "Eliza," he whispered, his voice like velvet, "I have been waiting for you." Fear and curiosity battled within her, but she found herself unable to look away. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. "My name is Sebastian," he replied, taking a step closer. "I am bound to this place, cursed to remain here until I find someone to love me." Eliza felt a strange connection to him, as if they were destined to meet. Days turned into weeks and she visited the old house every evening. She and Sebastian talked for hours, sharing stories and secrets. Slowly, Eliza found herself falling in love with the mysterious man, despite the cold touch of his hand and the shadow that clung to him. One night, as they sat together in the moonlight room, Sebastian took Eliza's hand. "There's something you must know," he said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "I am a ghost, trapped between worlds. My soul can only be freed by the love of a mortal." Eliza's heart ached for him. "Then I will love you, Sebastian. I will love you until the end of my days." Sebastian's eyes softened, but he shook his hand. "It is not that simple. To break the curse, you must willingly join me in death." Eliza gasped, recoiling in shock. "You want me to die?" "Only if you choose to," he said quietly. "I would never force you, but without you love in life, I am doomed to wander these showers and the shadows forever." Eliza was torn. She loved Sebastian deeply, but the thought of leaving her. Eliza was torn. She loved Sebastian deeply, but the thought of leaving her would behind filled her with dread. Days passed and she grew pale and withdrawn, consumed by the decisions she had to make. One stormy night, Eliza returned to the old house, her heart heavy with determination. "I cannot live without you, Sebastian," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I chose to be with you, in life or in death." Sebastian's eyes glowed with a mix of sadness and relief. "Are you sure, Eliza? This is a path with no return." "I am sure," she replied, her voice steady. Sebastian took her hand and led her to the basement where a small ancient well stood. "This well is the gateway," he explained. "We must both enter it to be together forever." With a deep breath, Eliza stepped into the well, the cold water rising around her. Sebastian followed, and as they submerged, she felt a strange warmth envelop her. The darkness faded, replaced by a bright, silvery light. When Eliza opened her eyes, she found herself in a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and shining birds. Sebastian stood beside her, his eyes no longer glowing but filled with warmth and love. "Welcome to our new home," she and he said, smiling. "We are free now." In this eternal calm, they were together, the love unbound with the mortal world's limitations. Though their bodies lay forgotten in the world, their souls danced in eternal harmony. Back in Barrywood, the old house slowly crumbled into ruins swallowed by the forest. The townsfolk often spoke of Eliza's disappearance, telling tales of a love so strong it transcended life and death. And sometimes on quiet nights, they swore they